Hey everybody, this is Alex Merced from alexmercedcoder.com, and what I've done is I added some more functions to my Mongo Rester library and npm that allow you to spin up a API with full JWT authentication pretty quickly and easily. So I figured we would do a quick run through so you can see how quickly you can do it. Okay, so I'm gonna make a new folder. We're gonna call this MR2. I'm gonna go open up the folder, new open an integrated terminal. Okay, and I'm going to first touch server.js. Then I'm going to do npm install Mongo Rester. I'm not going to worry about other middleware right now. Just with Mongo Rester, that technically already gives me Express and Mongoose, because those are dependencies. So that's set. Okay, oops, I forgot to do npm init-y, so I'm going to have to install that again. npm init-y to get my package.json. So see, there's my package.json. I'm gonna do npm install Mongo Rester again. Cool. Okay, let's go to server.js. Okay, and first thing we do is we're gonna bring in Mongo Rester. So const, and there's three functions in it. There's Authy. That's gonna be for setting up the auth, and if we were just setting up non-authenticated models with CRUD, we could use the Rester function. And if to make our Mongo connection pretty simple, I also made this function here, conmon. Okay, and that's going to all be from require Mongo Rester. And with that, let's bring in Express. Const Express equals require Express. That's a string. And then we need to make our app object. Const app equals express. That works for me. Okay, so that should be it for our dependencies. So just okay, and then the next thing is going to be our Mongo connection. Okay, and all this takes is conmon. Well, we have to do create a variable const mongoose, so we can hold our mongoose connection in a variable, and we'll just say conmon, and I just need to pass in the URI. Let me copy it from my previous one right here. Okay, conmon. Okay, and there you go. Okay, and that technically that function sets up all those like little messages, like you're connected to Mongo, you're disconnected to Mongo, passes in like use unified topology true, all that stuff you need to not get those deprecation warnings. It just kind of automates a lot of the stuff you would have in sort of like when you set up your Mongoose connection boilerplate. If you wanted to pass in a custom configuration object, you could pass it as a second argument. Okay, actually no, I don't think I think I just set it up like that way. Because the idea, I guess, if you really need to customize it, like the amount of what it's doing for you is that if you need to customize anything, you might as well just set it all up manually. Okay. Okay, so then, now that we have that set up, what we want to do is set up our auth. Okay, and that's just a matter of doing this, const. Now, our authy function is going to return us the user model. It's going to return us the auth middleware. It's going to return us the auth router, and it's going to return us an auth version of the Rester function. So this version of the Rester function will generate full CRUD on a model, but it'll require authentication to access those routes. Okay, so that makes life real easy. And then we just do authy, and I could literally just do this. I have defaults where it already has a default user model that's just username and password. It has a built-in secret. But if I kind of wanted to do my own custom thing, I could pass that in. I'm just gonna do comma because I don't care about the model. Don't care about the config. What I do want to pass in is let's say options. And options here we can pass in like secret. Then you can pass in your own custom secret. So let's say Gouda. Okay, etc. Okay, but I'm not going to do any of that. So you can do that. So again, you can pass in the model is the first argument, the config for the schema. So if you want to pass in like different configurations, like by default, it's just timestamps is true for the Mongo schema. But and then the third one is where you can pass in the options for like secret, or you can pass in an object under token config that allows you to configure the how the JWT tokens work, like expiration dates, type of algorithm, etc. All that's in the documentation, so you can see how that's done in the auth. But if I just do this, it does the thing. Okay, so literally I just run that function. I now have a user model created. I have my auth middleware. I have my auth router that already has a login and register route, and I have an auth function. So now let's create a model. So, and then we'll call this mydb. Yeah, we'll just call here. We'll just say we'll just make tweets. Okay, so tweets. So then I just do const. Okay, and then basically from the rester, what we get back is we get back the model, which we'll say is tweet, and then we get back the tweet router, and that's pretty much what we get back. Okay, equals auth rester. Okay, and then the auth rester, what we do is I need to pass in the schema. So let's just say a tweet has a title which is a string, and a body which is a string. Nothing crazy. Okay, and this, what's the arguments for okay, auth rester, yeah, it takes in the model. I don't know, does it take any other arguments? And then it can take in like the configuration object, which you can do all sorts of stuff with, which we don't need to do anything with. So we just pass in, I think that's it. That's all we really need to pass in. Okay, so that's gonna give us that. So we have full CRUD on tweets now. And now we're just gonna set up our middleware. So we're gonna app.use express.json. And then app.use. We're gonna have our auth routes, so /auth. That's going to be where we use the auth router. And then app.use. Okay, for tweet /tweet. This is where we'll use the tweet router. Okay, and there we go. And then we put our listener. App.listen. App.listen. And then we're going to just say port 4000. And we'll just do a little thing here. Console.log. Listening on port 4000. Save. Okay, there we go. That's it. We've done it. That's all the code it took to create full CRUD on tweets with authentication. Cool. Okay, so let me just give that a testful run. So let's do node server.js. Oh, I must have forgotten something. Let's see here. Let's pluralize. Oh, I know what. I forgot that. There's a first argument. I have to pass in the name of the model. Tweet. There we go. Okay, it's the schema name, or like the model name and the schema. Essentially, it's like the arguments you would pass into the model function. Except you don't need to pass in the whole schema object. You pass in the thing that, like, it'll create the schema for you and make the model. There you go. So like, it's the name of the model and then the object that defines the schema. And as a third argument, you could pass in a config object to configure the schema. Okay, so let's try that again. Okay, and there it goes. It's working. Okay, I got Postman open. Let's make a new tab. Except now it's going to be 4000. So first we need to register a user. So that's going to be auth register. So that's fine. So I hit send. And error driver true. Interesting. Why? It's a Mongo error. Let's see here. Raw JSON body posts. Let's see here. Do I see anything in the output here? connected to Mongo /auth router. Sure I'm connecting the right thing. Auth. Yeah, should technically work. Let's try a different username. Yep, for some reason. I think it's because I had that username already, because did I change the database name? Maybe I didn't. No, I still had the same database, so I still had that user already. Okay, cool. Okay, so yeah, so created a new user. So there we go. So there's the password. So that worked. Now I can log in. So I go to auth, login. Okay. And there we go. There is my token. Okay, so I'm going to take my token. Okay, head over to another window. Let's make this localhost 4000 now. And this is now going to be tweet. Now first let me just do a get request without the token. So let me go with headers and turn off the token and watch so you can see that it works. See, no authorization header with bearer token. Now if I do here, okay, I don't know if that would that have expired by now. Okay, so that token's still valid because I never changed the secret. So, but if I put in my token, okay, and let's just take one letter off of it so that way it doesn't work. See, invalid signature. Okay, and let's put the token there correctly. Now I do that, and I get the empty array. And now let's go create a tweet, title and body. There it goes. I created the tweet. Let's create another one. Okay, so now we created the tweet. Let's go back and do a get. There's the array of both of them. Let's take the ID of this one, add that to the end of the URL. Let's make this a put request so we can edit it. So we'll call this goodbye send, and there you see it's been edited to goodbye. And then I will delete it. Okay, we got it back, so that means it's been deleted. So now I do the get request again. There should only be one now. Cool, and all that required JWT authentication. Okay, all that required me to have the header there. So literally, we did this in, we created and tested a API full CRUD with JWT authentication in 13 minutes using my mongorester library. So check that out, it's on NPM now. And then if you're doing like your front end React, I just created the Merced React's hook library, which will also reduce a lot of your boilerplate for like application level state. It'll make your lifecycle functions a little bit more semantic. It'll make it a little bit quicker to do a form, and make it easier to use local storage. So combined with the two, life can get a lot easier in building a MERN stack app. So I'll see you guys later. Have a great day and enjoy. And make sure you join the Slack and Discord channel and at devnursery.com. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow me on Twitter at AlexMercedCoder. And have a great day.